Hi, it's Mr. Buckton for Maths. I just want to explain a little bit to you about my interactive solving equations by trial and improvement Excel sheet. Now this sheet can be used at the interactive whiteboard. It can be used by students in an ICT room in the introduction to trial and improvement, them getting to understand the methods for using trial and improvement. You can print out a worksheet from it for students to work on independently, whilst in the ICT room the students can be printing out the worksheet. So let me just show you quite how it works. So first off, the students will need to have a trial at a value there. So x equals 5 will give us 40, we know that's too small. X equals 6, 54, that's too big. So they can only select the yellow boxes, everything else is formatted so they can't select those boxes. Now we'll try halfway between, 5.5, that's still too big but only just. So we're going to come down, 5.4, still just a bit too big, 5.3. So we've now sandwiched it between 5.4 and 5.3. That's too small. We're going to explain that to get that last mark in the exam, 5.35, get it to trial to 2 decimal places. That is too small, so our answer is 5.4. So there's a solution, we can get to it. Students can, the one thing you can do is that you can then print off, you can see there question 1, 2 and 3 on a worksheet. They'd obviously do their solutions to questions 1, 2 and 3. Or you could print it out when it's blank for them to work on in class if you wanted to. So there are 3 questions on the sheet. So if we just drop down there, I can show you the 3 questions there. Now you can change the questions using these drop down boxes. So x squared minus 4x, and you can change the last coefficient there. It's 50, it's 50, 25. If you don't want 25, you have 15. You can have 45. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. So that's how you can change the values in the sheet. And I say the students can be working on this in an ICT room if they want, making their own questions up to see the method for trial and improvement. So it's quite good for them to learn how to explore and do some independent learning. Now the other thing that I've done is I've also created a flip chart just straight by photographing the questions. So if I wanted to work through this on the board in the first instance, just explain to them with a calculator shown on a visualizer. I could flip between the flip chart and the calculator, showing them just how I'm keying expressions into the calculator to get my trials. So there are 1, 2, 3 questions there, given the first 2 integer values to try to sandwich it between. There are 1, 2, 3 questions there without the first 2 values given. Now, if I wanted to make another question, quite simple, I can do that. If I duplicate my last question there, if I now have selected that last question, now at the moment I can't select, and it says I need to exit. I need to get into design mode by pressing F2 because I've locked this image. So if I press F2, I can now select that image, delete it, and if I selected the desktop tools, and from the desktop tools WhirlyWig, get the camera, the rectangular image. Now if I wanted to go back and do that, so say I first wanted to, if I first wanted to change one of my values there to get a different question, or I want that question there. So I now get my camera, rectangular image, and I now scroll across to get what I want for the area. Take an image to the current page. If I return to the flip chart, move it up, we can resize my image, make the image a little bit bigger on there. If I don't like the white background, I can fill that now to blue on there. I can also select it and lock the image. Okay, so now if I come out of design mode, I shouldn't be able to get that image. Okay, if I just flip back to the Excel sheet there, it's quite, can be used in a variety of different ways. I hope you like it. If you do, if you could pop back onto my TS page for the interactive solving equations by trial and improvement, drop a comment on there about how you use the resource maybe. Say at the interactive whiteboard, as a worksheet for students to use in class, in the ICT room, it's got many different uses. Okay, thank you, I hope you like the resource.